Hi, welcome to Immunodocs, where we talk about rheumatological disorders and arthritis. So let's begin. Today we are going to talk about rheumatoid arthritis and how to prevent it. So the first question is, what is rheumatoid arthritis? It is a chronic inflammatory polyarticular arthritis. This means that it manifests as inflammation in multiple joints. It especially affects the small joints of the hands and feet. So what are the causes of rheumatoid arthritis? These can generally be divided into four factors: genetic, gender, environmental, and lifestyle factors. Genetic factors are very important in causation of this disorder. There is a portion of the genome called the shared epitope, which seems to impart the highest genetic risk. However, it can not be used to predict the possibility of rheumatoid arthritis in any individual, as there are more than 100 genes that seem to play a role in this disorder. There are also epidemiological studies that show higher prevalence of rheumatoid arthritis in Native Americans, again pointing to a genetic predisposition to this disorder. There is also a gender bias. The female to male ratio is 3 to 1. Like most autoimmune diseases, there is a higher prevalence in females. Both ethnicity and geography seem to impact the prevalence of this disease. The highest prevalence of rheumatoid arthritis is found in North America, Australia, and Europe, whereas the lowest prevalence is in the Middle East and East Asia. Interestingly, some of the highest prevalence seems to be amongst Native Americans. Smoking is perhaps the greatest risk factor. It can increase the risk of up to 20 times compared to never smokers. Amongst twins who are genetically identical, rheumatoid arthritis occurs more often amongst smokers. Therefore, not smoking is the greatest intervention to prevent rheumatoid arthritis. Another big modifiable risk factor is sugar. It has now been established that periodontal disease of the gums is a risk factor for rheumatoid arthritis causation, and sugar is a primary driver of periodontal disease. Also, historically, rheumatoid arthritis became more prevalent in Europe and in the Old World after contact was made with American continents by Columbus and the subsequent burgeoning of the sugar trade. The increase in sugar content in diet at that time seems to coincide with a surge in rheumatoid arthritis. So, what can you do to prevent rheumatoid arthritis? Perhaps the biggest risk factor are non-modifiable, such as genetics and sex. Therefore, it's best to focus on what can be changed. I would suggest focusing on two things. Number one, smoking, and number two, sugar intake. It would be best to avoid smoking and decrease sugar intake in order to prevent this disorder. Hope this helps, and see you on the next one.